welcome back. We are back here in Prodeus. I did a short video on this a little while back, but I wanted to hop back in here because I had some more thoughts on it. Let's go back in to just a random old level, and we'll chat about my updated thoughts on it. So I have just a unironic love for this game. It's so good. Again, not crazy about shooters, but this one I love. It's a throwback sort of boomer shooter. It's meant to look and feel like a classic first-person shooter from the 90s. Even though it looks way better than anything ever did back then. So right now, I've actually already played all the way through this game on my Xbox. Because at the time, it came out on the Xbox first, and it wasn't on the PlayStation Store. And I played through it there, and eventually saw it on the PlayStation Store, and I was like, oh no, it's on the PlayStation, and it uses the adaptive triggers. Yes, please, I need some of that. So now I'm on my second playthrough of this game. I'm not very far into the second playthrough. But I'm playing it on the PlayStation this time, obviously, because I just love those adaptive triggers. They're so good. Man. At any rate, the first time I played through, I used the classic sort of retro filter, whereas now I'm playing through it this time. The difference is I'm using sort of the modern-looking graphics with 3D polygonal enemies, and it doesn't have such a low-res filter to it, even though it has some of the same aspects. You'll see like the weapon animation is really kind of like a low frame animation, and it's also looks super hella pixelated, just like a lot of the textures and blood effects and smoke and stuff like that are intentionally very pixelated. But it's even more so like the default settings in the game, and I loved that. I played through it with those classic filters on the first time I played it, and loved it. And I switched to this to try it out on my first playthrough, and I felt it kind of took away some of the charm. But I've decided to play this time with those filters off, and I'll go ahead and here to the options real quick and turn those back on. Is it in graphics? Virtual resolution, yes. So we change it back to 360. Screen overlay pixel, and then the overlay amount was just all the way up. I turned I didn't mess with the dither. What else? Oh yeah, screen space ambient occlusion. We'll turn that off, and then we'll turn screen space reflections off. There we go. And I think, oh yes, there's another one too. We need to go back in here into gameplay, and we need to use sprites instead of models. And I think that's it. That puts you back into full kind of like old school graphic style. You see, it's got a real pixelated look to it, like a kind of a low, grainy sort of resolution. Honestly, I don't know how well that shows up on YouTube, because YouTube, their compression really makes every game kind of look like crappy and retro, to tell you the truth. And on the last video that I put up about this game, the translation to YouTube, it definitely lost all those little details that this has. So you couldn't really tell. And I hope this video comes out a little bit better. Maybe bump up the resolution on your playback, and maybe it'll show for you. I don't know. I hope so, because it's just classic. But anyway, like I say, I played it the first time all the way through with these sort of vintage looking graphics filter. Just thought that was super cool. So anyway, this time, I don't know, I'm going to play it for a little bit, just with this filter on, and then I'll switch back. Ooh. Hey, friendo. Okay, so Again, like I say, I don't know how well this is going to translate to the YouTube video. Probably not very well, if I had to guess. But the enemies are all kind of sprite-based with very limited animation. And the screen looks very low res, even though it runs in a high frame rate. So, I mean, they want the effect of like the old school game, but they don't actually want it to run like crap, which is smart. But, oops, come on. But you'll notice when I switch back to like the updated graphics mode, or the normal graphics mode or whatever, the enemies are fully modeled 3D polygonal, and they have a really good animation, a lot of frames of animation, much smoother. I'll switch back now. There's the auto map. The map feature is kind of wild. In the map, you're almost like in a drone where you can kind of fly through the level. It kind of just shows you like where everything is, and then there's a legend. You can see what the stuff is. The very, very cool mapping system. Kind of disorienting and difficult to get used to at first, but it's there and it works well. So I'll switch back the graphics now to the kind of higher quality mode, I guess. Call it native apply. And we're going to go no overlay, and then let's see, yeah, ambient occlusion, and then we'll do screen space reflections, and then we go back to, where is the, yes, use models instead of sprites. Okay, and now I don't know if, like, again, I don't know how well this is going to translate into YouTube, but it looks so much crisper and so much more high res, even though, like I say, it's deliberately pixelated textures, but you can tell from the resolution of the screen, it's just, man, it looks so much better. So I played it that way. Played it that way the first time just because I loved it like that. But the kind of effect that I feel like now that I'm playing it this way, I feel like the first playthrough where I played it all pixelated, it was like, it's like being able to play a classic game and then in the same game also being able to play the remaster, even though it's not a classic game. It's just meant to look like one a little bit, look like the best possible version of one. But yeah, I'm enjoying the second playthrough a lot. I will probably, now that I'm playing this on the PS5, which is much easier to get my content onto YouTube from, I will probably put some more of this on stream, but I want to finish some of the other stuff that I've got going, like my Wolfenstein playthrough now. I hate the machine gun guy. He's such a pain. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do more playthrough of this game just because I'm loving it so much, but I probably won't start the playthrough until I unlock the double jump, because that's just my favorite thing, to be able to go through this game and play it back from the beginning with that double jump and the mid-air dash enabled. I love games that give you kind of great traversal mechanics like that just feel really fun and fluid, just to jump around and jump up and get down, you know. But no, I love a good double jump in a game. I'm a sucker for that, especially in an old classic boomer shooter style game like this. Okay, I see y'all. I got something for every one of you. Just let me reload. Hey, you're not dead yet. Okay, anybody else? Who's next? One of the things I also think I did not realize until late in my first playthrough was, you know, all these weapons have a alternate fire. which is not super out of the ordinary. But the way that the regular sort of base shotgun works is, you know, everybody knows a shotgun is great for up close damage, but the spread on the like the buckshot or whatever is so great that shotguns are terrible at distance. Well, the alt fire on this shotgun basically changes the ammo from like buckshot to a slug. So when you charge up with the left trigger, you see the bars raising on the reticle. When it's charged up like that, you're basically firing a slug instead of shot. So you can actually use a shotgun for much more range than you ordinarily could if you were firing shot. So very, very cool. So if you want to use your shotgun at a good distance, just charge it up, make it a slug. It works great. But yeah, I don't think I realized that until I was watching somebody else's playthrough of the game. I was looking for a way to get to one of the what do they call them? The ore fragment that you use them to purchase weapons and upgrades and stuff in the store. Because that's key in this game, is finding those ore fragments and upgrading your weapons and your loadout and your gear and your abilities. Like I have to get let's see, what have I got now? I have 12 ore fragments. I need 8 more before I can get the double jump. And as soon as I get that double jump, I'm gonna be a happy man, because I love that shit. Let's charge up the slug for old boy. Boom. Look at that. Shotgun at a distance, and it works great. Whew. Get rid of range boy here. Oh, and you. The charged up shot also does some kind of like flame damage too. Like if I shoot a guy with that charged up shotgun, you'll see that there's flames on him that does a little bit of damage over time. So it actually changes the projectile to a slug, but also adds some kind of flame damage, which is really cool. But yeah, you notice these guys are not pixelated, or you know, they're not 2D pixels with crappy animation. They're fully animated 3D models, and they look great, run really smoothly. But yeah, so basically I feel like I'm playing the remaster of a game that I played like a month ago. Great stuff. But at any rate, I'm just rambling on here and repeating myself. Apologies for that. But I just love this game. It also has a mode where you can play maps created by players, but I don't think on the console you can create your own maps. I think you have to be on a PC, because I couldn't find an option to create you know, levels. But it doesn't mean it's not there. Maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe I have to unlock something. Who knows? But there's a lot of the levels that the community has created. A lot of them were created a long time ago, like a year ago. So this game, I guess, was in early access on the PC for a long time before it ever hit version 1.0 and came to the consoles, which is, you know, what I'm playing, obviously. Hey! So who knows? I don't even know if they've implemented level creation for the consoles, or if they ever will. Who knows? But even if they don't, you have levels that you can play that the community has created. I looked to try to find a multiplayer game. It doesn't seem to be any, you know, I couldn't find any lobbies, so that's not super encouraging. But you know, you can host your own game if you want to do some multiplayer with friends or whatever. So I guess the multiplayer is not super robust at the moment. Green key required. Who knows if it ever will be, but you know, if you have any kind of affinity for these sort of boomer style shooters, this is a good one. Hey! Boom! Boom shakalaka! Oh, I'm in the... Oh, I did not land in the lava. I thought I did. And then I moved backwards and actually did. Okay, but that's it. I just kind of wanted to just talk about how much I love this game, and as soon as I get the double jump, I'll probably do a playthrough of it. I definitely love it. I must. I bought it twice, right? At any rate, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.